For a mentor to help you get to where you want to go,
Yeah.
you need to know where you want to go. But we all need to know exactly what it is that we are pursuing. That when you have a mentor, the mentor can guide you properly to get there.
That you have people looking to you, whether you know them or not, but they're looking to you. Never ever let them down. Be consistent and end well. Because then if you let them down, you just don't know. There are many who will fall in the pit together with you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. Welcome again to the Mentorship Table. If you have not watched the previous sessions, please go and watch so that you can have context. We have been having transformative conversations regarding mentorship and how a mentor can help you move from where you are to where you want to be. My name is Edida Mpumwire Tumwebaze, and I am very privileged to co-host you with a man of God, a father, a mentor, and a shepherd.
I'm Bishop Henry Orombi, former Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, 2004 to 2012. My joy is to have this time together with you viewers, and I'm sure you will be blessed. God bless you.
Thank you. And today, we are going deeper into this subject, and today's conversation is really juicy. We have been joined by a wonderful man. You are going to be happy to hear from him. In my world out there, we call him the sales warrior. He has so much to give. Daniel Choudry, please tell the people about this warrior thing. What is this about being a warrior?
Thank you so much, viewers and all of you around the world. I'm Daniel Choudry, like my sister Edida has introduced me. I am privileged to be the founding director for the Daniel Choudry Sales Institute. We train people out to make money. We train people business development. So we have an institute here in Uganda, we have in Kenya now, we have in Tanzania, we have in Ghana, and we just give certification programs to fresh graduates who are joining world of employment. They want to do sales. We also work with different corporate organizations to skill their salespeople so they can be able to have the courage and the confidence to go and meet with customers out there and give value to the customer, and the customer pay profit back in return. So that's basically briefly about the career side, but during this conversation I'm going to unpack a lot of things about this person called the sales warrior, and I hope it's going to bless you and it's going to cause some transformation positively in your life.
Thank you so much. It's generous of you to come and be with us, and we know that our viewers are going to get so much value. So today we are going to focus on how a mentor can help you to identify and align your purpose when the path is not clear. So life is not a straight path. Sometimes things are clear, sometimes they are not. Sometimes we grow up with people that keep helping us to align, and so it is easier to make decisions and to walk into our purpose. Sometimes it's not. So there is lack of clarity that we have to sieve through for us to be able to walk to our destiny, to be able to maximize our potential. And we are going to walk through this today with these two tall gentlemen. I am intimidated, but I am managing.
Gifted by nature.
These people that are gifted by nature are going to gift us with their stories. So let me start straight with Daniel Choudry. Tell us about, just take us through the unclear paths that you have had to walk for you to get to where you are, on your way to where you're going.
Thank you so much, my sister. And first of all, I also want to recognize the presence of my father, Archbishop Orombi.
Thank you, Dan.
It's not very easy to be here, but we're going to do a good job.
Relax.
Yes, and
Relax, son.
so my story starts back in 1987. My mother was 16 years old when she conceived me, and she was very young. And then when she realized that she was pregnant, she went to our mom, my grandma. My grandma said, "You go and look for the man who impregnated you." Then she went to my father's family. My father's family denied the pregnancy. Said my father was not responsible. So my mother should go and look for the man who impregnated her. So my mom came back with my grandma, and my grandma also chased away that now that man has refused that he's not responsible, you go and look for the man who impregnated you. And I know the stigma of pregnancy back then, of course, teenage pregnancy and all of that was quite a lot. So my mom didn't have where to stay, and then she went to the Catholic mission, Padibe Catholic mission, and she requested, those days they were the Italian priest. So she requested for shelter. And Father Alex, that was his name, who said, "We are looking for somebody to also help us here, work here, do the cooking, do the cleaning. Can you do that?" My mom said yes. And then she was given an opportunity to live in the mission. And she did a good job. And when she gave birth to me, 4 months after she gave birth to me, the priest said, "By the way, you've been such a good girl. We want to take you back to school. If you can find where to, keep the baby." So my mom took me back to my grandmother when I was only 4 months old.
Wow.
So my grandma raised me from 4 months until when I was 14. I used to call her mommy. Wow. And I used to call my mom auntie.
Yeah.
I called my mom auntie until senior 4, 2004. Wow. You can imagine. Wow. So that's the beginning of my life was totally unclear, as you can imagine. And that's how the life started. I met as a person in the resemblance of a mentor back in 1994. 94, I was in primary 4. 1993, 1994. I don't really get the memory well. Teacher Anthony Opoa, he was a teacher of mathematics in my school, Padibe Girls Primary School. Don't mind about the girls. There were also boys studying in that school. Yeah. So Teacher Anthony Opoa one time came to school. He said, "Children, I'm teaching you that when you get to P7, you get a first grade. Yeah. Our school has never got a first grade. So you're in primary 4 now. I'm teaching you that when you get to primary 7, you get a first grade. And whoever will get a first grade in P7, you'll go to the capital city of Uganda." Wow. And he asked us to respond in chorus. What is the name of the capital city of Uganda again? We all scream, "Kampala." It's like Kampala is the most beautiful part of Uganda. When in Kampala, poverty is gone. Everybody there is rich. In Kampala, you'll see electricity everywhere. During the night is the same as during the day because the lights is everywhere. And then he spoke about the tallest building in Uganda. The building is so tall that it touches the cloud. It's called Crested Towers. When you go to Kampala, you get a chance to go to Crested Towers and climb the building. You can imagine as a child in primary 4, that man changed my life. He spoke because my village is Padibe, is along the route the plane used to go to Europe. Every day you see a lot of planes passing by. It's like, "Do you see the plane passing by?" Like, "Yes, teacher, we see." It's like inside the plane is like paradise. When you're inside the plane and you want to take some juice, you just press the knob next to your chair and say juice. And a robotic mechanism will bring juice to you. I'm like, "Mama, I have to go where? To Kampala."
Yes.
It's like in Kampala, you see the biggest lake in the world. Yeah. It passes across the 3 countries. It's so big that some people live in a ship in the lake for the whole year. They will play football there. They will play volleyball there because they're so big. Teacher Anthony Opoa changed my life. From that day, he said, "Just work very hard and get a first grade in P7, you'll get a chance to go to Kampala." And he said, "If you want to go to Kampala, there's certain things you have to do. When you're coming to school in the morning, make sure you tuck in. Yeah. When it's time for assembly, be in front of the assembly, not at the back of the assembly." Yes. And when it's time to clean the compound, they used to demarcate for us portions to sweep. When it's time to clean the compound, sweep yours, finish it quickly, Go to the neighbors, finish it quickly. Those are the behaviors, those are the disciplines that make you a good child, and you'll get good grades. And when it's time for class, if a teacher asks a question, even if you do not know the answer, first the answer will come. First, put your hand up. So they used to ask questions in class. Teacher, like that. I'm like, teacher, I knew the answer. I just forgot. The rest of the class would laugh at me and everything. But look at me now. What I do, it was because of what Auntie Nopua did.
Yes.
So that man rewired my mind. I became obsessed with the idea of going to Kampala. Every page of my book, on top of it, I was writing Kampala, Kampala, Kampala. I was obsessed. And that's what really mentorship does. That's what planting a seed of ambition does. And for me, from that day, I started feeling like my life meant something. And he said, you have to speak English in school. I never used to speak English. We used to just, speak our Choli and stuff like that. So that was the foundation of when I started realizing, I can be more. I can go to a place better than where I am now. And in 1999, Bishop, I was going to the farm early in the morning at 4 a.m. And I entered an ambush of the LRA war, of the rebels. And I was taken. So I'm a former child rebel.
Wow.
1999, I was 12 years old when I was taken. And it was scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. And my grandfather told me before that crazy day came that God forbid, if you are ever abducted, never show any sign of fear. When you do, they will kill you. So I masked all the bravery that I could get, and I was in the bush for almost a year, from February up to October.
Wow.
It was a very difficult time. I was only telling God one prayer.
Wow.
God, I don't want to die before I see Kampala.
Wow.
I don't want to die before I see Kampala.
Right.
And sometimes you go through really, really tough times. But when somebody has planted a seed like Teacher Anthony of what planted in my mind, you have a reason to go on. You have a reason to fight. You have a reason to mask all the energies and keep going, even when the odds are against you.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I was courageous, I was brave. There were so many really, really bad things that happened while we were in the bush. I'm not going to go into the details of that.
No.
But just the message here is to have a message that's strong, that light up your heart.
God seemed to create tough moments for men and women he wants to use.
Wow.
Yes.
Trained in the crucible or in the furnace of trouble. Let me bring you the story of Joseph, for example.
Yes.
He comes from a family, he's loved of his father, hated by his brothers, sold out as a slave. Now, when you are taken from the love of a father and you are put into a stranger's hands, like now he's sold like a commodity in Egypt, and then finally he is bought by this guy called Potiphar as a slave. He's a slave. Now, a slave is not a servant. A slave is a property of the owner. If he chooses to kill you today, you have no say. You don't even have an identity card. You're nothing. So from somebody who was very important, he has become nothing. And yet, we are told that God was with Joseph, even as a slave. It came even worse. A handsome, nicely built, just like you. Nicely built. So the mistress took a liking for him. Now, the God who was with Joseph also planted fear of God in him, so that he would not pay attention to this woman. Eventually ends in a dungeon, falsely accused. So you see the struggle, the suffering, the pain, and in the dungeon, everybody else forgot about him except God. And from that dungeon, we are told in the story, is how he came up to become second in command of Pharaoh, the greatest then empire in their world. So those struggles, those pain, those atrocities, those things that you are exposed to, is your training ground. Look at the result.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Before you go ahead,
Yes.
it's just deep and profound what a mentor can do.
Yeah.
Beyond getting you to become a sales warrior, actually a mentor helped you to survive.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He helped you to survive whatever you faced because you had something to live for.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So a mentor gives you something to live for.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
a mentor points you to why life is worthwhile.
Exactly.
Why, if you stay a little closer, if you work a little harder, if you push a little stronger, you will reach that place that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that is what we are saying, that being a mentor is really a responsibility.
Yeah.
It is really a responsibility. It transformed a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
No, in P4, you were in
Could
how
have been
old?
about 10, 11 there.
Much younger than 12-year-old, to dream a life that, by the way, he is now living. He's now living in Kampala.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Kampala dream,
Yeah.
he's living it. It came from this one man
Yeah.
that was willing to help expand
Yeah.
the mind of a young child.
Yeah.
To make me see beyond kid
Your little
Exactly.
village.
You know?
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So please, when we are asking you to mentor someone,
Yeah.
this is giving them life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead with the story.
Yeah. So for me, when we're talking about the role of a mentor, when you have clarity, I just wanted to go back to the Genesis like that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, by God's grace, I was saved by the UPDF because I was shot. I have a bullet wound on me. And when I woke up, because I passed out.
Left for dead?
Yes, I have a deep
Right.
a scar here. So the UPDF got me. I was still breathing, thankfully. So they took me to Gulu Military Barracks Hospital,
Right.
where I was treated. After they treated me, they took me to Gusco. Gusco was a rehabilitation center
Yeah.
for former,
Yeah.
rebels that
Combatant.
came back. Yes, in
Yeah.
Gulu there. So I was rehabilitated. But those were also very tough days.
True.
The
True,
traumas and everything.
True.
You can't sleep at night because you feel like you're still
Yeah.
in the middle of the hell that
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
just been
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But I had the children of the soldiers towards in December actually, saying they're sitting third term exams. Then I remembered what teacher Anthony Opua said.
Came back.
Yeah, when you study and get a first grade in P7,
Yeah.
you'll get a chance to go where? To Kampala.
Kampala.
And for me, that's the message I also have for all of you viewers. What is your Kampala?
Yeah.
Because for a mentor to help you get to where you want to go,
Yeah.
you need to know where you want to go. You know, so it's important that you I don't know what your chances are gonna be. I was lucky that I was exposed to that message from
Yeah.
teacher Anthony Opua
Yeah.
about the capital city of Uganda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yours could be a different moment of revelation.
Yeah.
But we all need to know exactly what it is that we are pursuing. That when you have a mentor, the mentor can guide you properly to get there,
To where you need to
to
go.
where you need to go. And it's not the responsibility of the mentor to tell you
No.
where you need to go. They're just supposed to facilitate, help, guide, give you the courage to continue navigating through the murky waters.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. That's a message that I thought you should get. So when I had the children of the soldiers saying they're going to sit exams, I immediately told my mind, I need to go back home and sit exams so I can go to P7.
At that point,
Get
would you
first
be
grade.
allowed to go back?
No. I was
You're not even allowed?
No. I wasn't. I was still in the rehabilitation process.
Okay.
But I gave them a hard time.
Yeah.
And I insisted that they take me back to Kitgum. And they took me back reluctantly. People at home already thought I was dead. There was a celebration for a couple of days.
Wow.
I ate a lot of meat. That's a
Had
discussion
things
for another
settled down
day.
at the point?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Didn't you
that was-
fear that they would come for you again?
I just wanted to sit exams. I didn't even
You
worry
could do it
about
in
That
Gulu?
is-
No.
Oh, okay.
I needed to go home.
Yeah.
I needed to go home. My mind was just set to go back home.
Right.
And I went home. There was celebration for a few days. There was just a few days left to exams. I told Sister Margaret Acheng, who was our administrator at the time, I said, Sister, I need to sit exams. It's like, but Daniel, you've gone through a very tough time. Why don't you start school next year? I'm like, no, sister, I need to sit exams. Like, Daniel, even next year, you still have a chance. First, stay, and then we understand what you've gone through. I'm like, no, sister, I need to sit exams. So they again reluctantly accepted, and I sat exams. We were 56 in the class. I was number 50. When results came
You
back,
beat 6.
I beat 6 people who studied first term, second term, and third term, and I was going through hell on her.
Wow.
So sister said, if you could do this, having gone through what you've gone through, this boy is good enough. So they wrote on my report, very big capital letters, promoted to primary 7. And for me, that was the biggest success of my life. So I sat exams, I went to primary 7, I got aggregate 12 in primary 7.
PLE.
PLE,
Congratulations.
first grade. So I was one of the few, were 4 who got first grade. I was one of them. So among the first people to get, I knew I was going where?
Kampala.
But life took a detour. You know, Teacher Anthony Opua left certain important aspect of that conversation. He didn't talk about school fees. You know, he didn't talk about school fees.
Yeah.
So now my grandmothers are telling me how we don't have school fees. I'm such an intelligent boy.
Yeah.
My auntie, who is studying to be a nurse, has got me a school in Gulu, Laibi College.
Yep.
It's a very good school.
Very good school. Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh,
So you're going to, I literally don't know the auntie who got me the school was my mother.
Oh,
You know,
Really?
you know. So I knew this auntie because she kept sending me clothes. Every Christmas I get clothes. And
She remembered her son.
she did. She did.
Credit.
And my mom was my rock. Unfortunately, COVID took her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She had already played a role.
a huge role.
Yeah.
A huge role.
Yeah.
So that's my story of how I went to senior 1 in Laibi College. But the key
did
message
you go to
here-
Kampala at all, even to visit?
No,
Not
no,
yet.
I
Not
didn't.
yet.
I didn't. So I went to Laibi College. First term I studied. Second term, school fees was a problem. Third term, school fees was a problem. But my auntie, who is studying to be a nurse, took care of it. And then
Your
senior
auntie,
2,
who is your mommy?
who is my
Yes.
mom. Who is my
Okay.
mom?
Okay.
And I don't know why my grandma and my mom, they kept it quiet for so
Yes.
long. And then in senior 2, that's when I get to know. They sit me down and said, you know, this is your mom. Then all these other questions of who is my father.
Yeah. You get to cover.
Yes, but those are some of the things that sometimes happen in in our world. You know, today it could be a problem of school fees.
Yeah.
For you, it could be an emotional struggle
Yeah.
that you don't know about. Mine was lack of clarity. Who am I? Where do I come
Yeah.
from? Where is this father?
Your identity was in a crisis.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally in crisis. And I have to say, because probably we may not have enough time to get to the entire story, but up to now, I've not met my father. I'm 38 years old. My father is alive and well.
Is it?
My father lives in the UK. They went to exile in 1988. My father and his entire family went to exile. I only got a chance to bury my grandma in 2021.
The one who was your mother.
My father's mom. The
Your
person.
father's mom.
Yes. They brought her body back for burial here in Uganda. And I went for burial.
Does your father know you are alive?
He does. He does. I've
He's
even
not taking
spoken to him.
initiative?
I've spoken to him on the phone, but I wanted to have a chance to meet him physically.
One day it will happen.
I thought he would come to bury his mom. He didn't come. So I have not yet gotten the chance to meet him. But just to go back to the story, because we're talking about the help of mentors to get you as far as possible. In senior 2, when school fees became a problem, I went to Father Luciano Spalletti, who was the parish priest of the Comboni missionaries in Laibi College.
Right.
And I used to see the Comboni missionaries, they used to have big farms, big farms. And they send the villagers to go and work in the farm. And in the evening, they give you either salt or sugar or cooking oil or money.
Right, right.
So I went to Father Luciano. I said, Father, I'm struggling with school fees. But I'm willing to work in the farm during holidays.
Wow.
I'm willing to do any other work you give me.
Wow.
Father said, but Daniel, you're too skinny. I'm like, Father, I will do. And I was this thin thing.
But I can work.
Yes, I will do the work. So he
Mind
said,
you, your grandfather taught you
yes,
how to work.
My grandfather was
Yeah.
such a hard-working man.
Yeah.
And Father said, I'm giving you the compound to slash the priest's residence. A big, fairly, almost an acre piece of land or more. Then I'm going to Gulu City. When I come back and you've done a good job, then we'll talk.
Wow.
Dear viewers, I've never worked the way I worked that day. I started slashing that compound at 9 in the morning on a Saturday morning until 4:30 in the evening. the cook for the priest brought me food at lunch. I turned down the food so I can finish slashing before Father comes back. And then for me, the message to you here is that mentorship should be earned.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just say, because you are this person who has done so much, please mentor me.
No.
You know, that kind of
May not work
relationship
well.
may not work well.
Yeah.
And when Father came back and he saw the work I did, I had not just finished slashing, I swept the grasses, put them in different heaps.
Wow.
And it's like, did you do this by yourself or you brought some boys from the college?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Father, I did it by myself. I'm like, no.
You could not.
You must have brought some boys from the college. I'm like, I did it by myself. And as God would have it, he asked the cook, did this boy do the slashing? The cook said, Father, I've never seen a young boy work the way this boy worked. I gave him his food. His food is still there. I covered it. He didn't eat. His father said, Daniel, come to my office.
Wow.
I'm going to pay you school fees up to senior 4.
Just like that?
Just like that. You don't have to work in the farm. But during school time, I needed to trim the flowers in the priest's residence. I needed to slash the compound. And I needed to mop the church. Can you do that? Like, yes, Father. And I did that with grace. I did that with joy for 4 years. Faithfully. Well. And may God bless his soul.
Yeah.
So 2004, we're now going towards sitting senior 4. UCE. Father called me to his office, said, Daniel, you've been doing so well. If you get a good first grade in senior 4, he said anything below a grade 20, I will get you a school in Kampala and I'll pay for senior 5 and senior 6.
That was a promise.
Excited. That was a promise.
Another motivating factor.
Oh, I was thrilled. Mocks came. I got a grade 15 in Mocks.
Wow.
Kampala is here.
Yeah,
Wow.
they used to say Mocks is more difficult than the UCE.
Wow.
And 3 weeks to now, final exam, we were woken up in the morning. One Wednesday morning, I don't forget that day. Police were all over our dormitories, opening all our cases and our boxes, picking
And
knives.
you did not know?
We didn't know what was going on. They were picking the knives, they were picking our sweaters. And then at 7, they called for an emergency assembly. The head teacher, Marcelina Okolo, came to give us a very sad announcement. Somebody jumped over the fence of the priest's residence and went to Father Luciano's room and they killed him.
They killed him in his room.
In his bed.
Wow. 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 What time was that?
They killed him that night. They killed him. I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve to go like that. So school fees was gone.
And Kampala with it.
Kampala gone.
Became a distant.
I cried every single day until the day of exams. But you know, bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
Does it mean those of us who are alive, we stop living? No.
Yeah.
Probably right now, you who is watching, is he going through something?
Yeah.
We may not know about it. And you feel like your life is gone, your life is lost. It's not. Bad things happen every time. Even when you're good, even when you do well. You know, and then I'm hoping that Bishop is going to add a few words on that. But I did what I could. Reading was not really okay from that day.
No, because your motivation level is gone.
Yes. And then I sat exams, I got a grade 28. It was still a first grade. It wasn't the best. And then I went back to the village, to Padibe, you know. And for me, that was a very trying time.
Yeah.
My life has been full of different mentors picking me up and pushing me on.
Yeah.
So first time senior 5, I didn't study. My mom, of course, raised a bit of money. My mom was also married.
Were you taken back to Laivi in senior 5?
No.
Now this is where?
No, I didn't. I came to Kampala.
You now came to Kampala?
Yes.
From senior 4?
Yes, from
Which
senior
school
4.
now?
From senior 4, I came to Kampala. Just
That's a point to mention.
just indulge me a little bit here. So my mom was trying our best to pay. I was a very good altar boy in the Catholic Church Padibe Mission.
Yeah.
Father Godfrey Torach, who was the parish priest at the time, he's now in the US. So Father Godfrey Torach, every morning I'm in church, altar boy.
Yeah.
Father one time asked me, Daniel, what plans do you have for school? I'm like, Father, I actually have a plan. But before I tell you about my plan, can you come help me and come and bless my farm? I had mobilized the boys in Padibe. I did 10 acres of simsim. We used to do a lot of communal farming. Today we go to your farm, we all go the next day. So we did 10 acres of simsim.
10 acres.
10 acres of simsim.
Senior for liver.
Senior for liver.
Wow.
And I wanted that for school fees.
Wow. Wow.
So I took Father Godfrey Torach to the farm. We prayed over the farm, and I told Father, I'm giving the entire farm to the church. Just get me a school in Kampala. Pay for senior 5 and senior 6.
Wow.
And Father, I want to travel by bus.
To travel by bus.
I never used the bus.
What were the options?
There was no other option. The idea was I needed to study my senior 5 and senior 6 in
Kampala.
And
This Kampala.
that's what gave me the motivation to even do the 10 acres of same.
Right.
And Father said, Daniel, are you serious? I'm like, yes. I'm like,
At what level were the plants?
They were already flowering.
Already flowering.
Yeah, they were
Just
already flowering.
halfway.
Yes, already flowering.
Right.
So that was about April, May.
Right.
And Father blessed the farm and said, okay, let me make a few phone calls. I have some of my connections in Kampala.
Right.
And then in the morning, when you come for church, I'll let you know.
Right.
And as God would have it, Father actually got me a school.
Wow.
I was at the priest's residence very early in the morning at 5.
Yeah, you want an answer? Yes.
I was hungry. I needed an answer. And Father, when the time he came out, like, oh, Daniel, you ready? I'm like, yes, Father, I'm here. Do you have some news for me? Like, yes, actually, I got you a school. One of my friends is a priest, and he has a school in Kampala called Bishop Orombi.
Wow. Wow.
Father John Scalabrini.
Wow.
So I was elated. I was delighted.
Bishop Kyangire was in Lira.
Yes. So I traveled to the city for the first time on the 16th of June, 2005.
To Kampala.
To Kampala.
By bus.
By bus. Otada coach. I remember very well. Otada coach.
Yeah.
The night before Bishop, I didn't sleep.
It's
You're
understandable.
going to Kampala.
I was too excited.
Yeah.
I was going to...
Imagine the bus will give you and whatever, all those things, yeah?
I was telling all my friends, I was going door to door. Tomorrow I'm going to Kampala. Bye. Tomorrow I'm going to Kampala.
I know.
Yeah.
I was too excited.
Yeah.
The morning came, they brought me to the bus. My mom actually brought me. Wow. And I came to the city. And while I was here, Father John Scalabrini was also a great mentor. Wow. I told him my story of child soldier.
Yes.
And you know what he told me? You're a very lucky man.
Yeah.
You're a very lucky young man
survive.
that use that pain of your past as motivation to be better. And I'm just trying to say the way he used to say, so you can give better things to your people back in keep going.
Exactly.
And I've never forgotten that.
Exactly.
No, the story can go on, but let me first flag you on.
But then, the point I was making in the last episode was where you come from should be redeemed by you.
Yeah.
Doing better than where you started.
Oh, yes.
And now this particular father is just reminding you that where you are, you'll go higher in order to redeem your home, your family, your people. And for many, many of us in this country, that's what we should aim at.
Yeah.
That we can transform our past, which were humble and poor, by breaking through and become people who now have means, understanding, exposed, and able to redeem the people.
Oh, yes.
And never ever disconnect with your past. Never ever disconnect with your past, because your past is what made you who you are. And if your past, whatever it was, can fire you so that you're a better person, then you are going to be an answer to the questions that your father asked and never got the answer. And you can now be the answer to the next generation, can be totally, totally different. Yeah. And that's how we break off from the bondages that some of us come from.
And you know, Bishop, you also meant, before we came into this video, we were just having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I've followed you for a very long
Yeah.
time and everything that you've done for us in this country. And you said something that really struck me. You said, number one, now that you're retired and really serving outside, you know, the public office, that for you to continue mentoring and helping other people who look up to you is to remain consistent.
Yes.
And to finish well.
So they're following you.
They're following you.
Yeah.
So
if you fail with them.
Yeah.
So that is painful.
Yeah, and I think that's also very important for those who are watching us here. That you may think your life is really, really a big struggle, but there are people following you too.
They're following you.
So you must succeed. You must do well. You must remain consistent.
Just to remind you, I was saying it's important that you have people looking to you. Whether you know them or not, but they're looking to you. Never ever let them down. Be consistent and end well. Because then if you let them down, you don't know. There are many who will fall in the pit together with you. That was what I was saying to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me just make a comment that I feel like I am in a sacred moment right now. Seeing you, Daniel, and how far you have come, and the things you have navigated, and knowing the warrior that you are, when we are looking at you, you know, in the real world there, we know that you can conquer.
Yeah.
We know that you are a man to, you know, a power to reckon
Can
with.
endure.
Yes. It is sacred.
Yeah.
To just sit here and listen to these deep, dark things that you have gone through.
Yeah.
And now I'm asking myself, how many of, allow me to use this word, of our entitled children think they have gone through things?
Wow.
Complain
Wow.
about the challenges. The parents who have not provided what? The Sam's cookies and
the crisps.
the crisps of a certain kind. The ones whose parents have not given the latest phone, you mean?
Yeah.
Those
and they'll not talk to their parents for a full week.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they will not talk to their parents.
Yeah.
Because they refuse.
Because they're sulking.
Yeah, they refuse them from using the phone.
Yes. Now, I am just wanting to come to you in truth.
Yeah.
Like real deep, dark things happen to real people.
It does.
But those who are strong and have a goal, those who have a Kampala
Yeah.
To chase.
In
To
their
chase.
minds. Yeah.
they make it through that deep.
Yeah.
They make it through that deep. So these challenges that you're looking at, these problems, some, and may I not negate your challenges, some of you may be going through some challenges that are real, but he did.
Yeah.
He went through his deep.
Yeah. And it's
I
not
mean,
done. Every day you still have challenges.
I have thought I went through. Yeah,
so
because I lacked school fees. I dropped out of school at some point.
Yes.
So I thought, a real problem.
Yeah.
But man, no.
Yeah.
No.
At
But
every
at the
level.
same time,
Yes,
let me chip in. It looks to me when I look at life, both from the scripture and people who have walked through life, the deeper in trial you walk,
Yeah.
the more success after that God gives you.
Wow.
Most people who have succeeded at the top of where they are never got it easy.
No. It never comes easy.
And those trouble were their training grounds. The time they made resolutions, the determination to succeed beyond their suffering was created at that point. And so it looks like God will take you so deep down there in order to take you way up there. Let me give you an analogy.
Yes.
There is a tree called eucalyptus, many of us know. Because of its roots, you see the height. And nothing can touch
it
it.
grows so
Oh,
tall.
yes. The wind cannot do anything to it.
The roots also go so deep.
Absolutely. Then look at buildings. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation. So it's like God creates you into a scenario of deep foundations in order to grow you tall.
However, that depends on what you do in the deep.
Oh, yeah, of course.
On the decisions that you make while in the deep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And mentors can help you.
Guys like this man has got a driving force.
Yes.
His driving force is Kampala.
Yes.
So even if you took him under the deepest water, he will still bump up because Kampala is not down there.
There is a Kampala to chase.
Amazing.
Yes, there's a Kampala to chase. But the role the mentor plays, and thank you for emphasizing it, the role the mentor plays, the fact that a mentor walks with you and holds you and sifts through those challenges and tells you there is a possibility.
Yes.
And shows you the door that he can help you open. And actually does open it, like get you a school in where? In Kampala, and puts you on a bus.
A great school.
A big thing.
Yes.
And maybe, let me also say something here, that the choice of mentorship, of mentors are also very important.
Yeah.
Because mentors have the capability to influence your values and your character.
Yeah.
So you need to pray to God for discernment.
Yeah.
That the people that are placed in your life that you follow are people who will not disorganize your values
And derail you.
and derail you. Because some of us, we have really, admired some people and we got access to them to help us.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
They let you down.
To, help. So you need the discernment, but you also need to use your wisdom to know that this person is guiding me well. This doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And when you feel it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. Don't insist on something that you don't.
But also, Daniel, there is an area where you, having made a decision, have ears open for people who are giving you warning lights.
Warning lights.
Yeah. You have made a decision, you're going this direction, but are you seeing this? Are you seeing that? Are you seeing the other? If you don't have that kind of hearing, you can be so determined to go wrong, confidently, by the way.
Oh, that's true.
Confidently accept that your destination is a ruin.
Wow.
And so there will be people who are going to help you listen to something else.
Yeah.
So be flexible.
Be flexible.
Because somebody is seeing something which you're not seeing. You're looking at a mentor and you're admiring that person and you're wanting to follow that person, but the other people are saying, can you take a moment to look another direction? Because we think what you're doing and where you're going, you may never end well. So there are people who are old enough who know how to read tomorrow.
Wow.
Please listen to them as well.
Yes, Papa.
Because if you don't listen to them, you will regret when you have ended up in a very wrong place, but you're now in fracture and pieces. And you would not be saying, I wish I listened.
I wish I listened.
So I wish I listened is too late.
Yeah.
Do have ears to listen to other views as well, because if you follow me, I'm Bishop Orombi, you may never know the secret of why I am what I am. My secret keeps me going year after year, and you're following me without knowing the secret. You better be able, may I ask God to give you a discerning spirit. A discerning spirit is a spirit that helps you to judge before you make a decision and understand what may be coming ahead of you. I will want you to understand that I want to give a particular story, which is a true story. A man in Barara is a typical imitator of Bishop Kibenjire. If you know that guy, if you didn't hear him, but he was such a gifted orator and a great painter of scenarios with words. Great. And this boy picked it up. And he was emulating, but he was only parroting. He was only parroting Bishop Kibenjire because he never picked his characters.
No.
He only picked his gift, but not his characters. He hasn't made it.
No, you can't make it like that.
So get to also evaluate the values you're talking about.
Yeah.
Are those people giving you solid values so that you can stand and go beyond them? Because if they're not giving you the values that you're talking about, you are going to crash before you even get to where they are.
You're going to crash.
And this guy is crashed. He's nowhere to be seen. But the guy, if he stood and he spoke, you would see Bishop Kibenjire in this young fellow here. He imitated everything in terms of his gesture, his language, his tone. But
Maybe the mentorship was not complete.
he never actually got in touch with Bishop Kibenjire.
Entirely.
No. From a distance. Never got in touch with him. Wow. And he never followed, he never copied the character. He never actually asked himself, why is he the way he is?
Yeah.
Just admired that.
No, Bishop, you raised a
statue.
very interesting point as well. As you were just sharing the story of that young man, what got to me just now also is sometimes as young people, you get a good mentor. Like I'm lucky enough to call Bishop now my mentor. But then you don't stay the course. And you are not yet fully well cooked.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're like, I think I'm ready for the dining table. And people will eat raw food.
Yeah.
And you know, no one wants to eat raw food.
No.
So I think we should also have that patience as young people, that when you're being mentored, when you're being guided, you must have the patience and the humility to walk the entire journey. When you walk the entire journey, you will know. And your mentor will also know. And your life will also reflect it.
In this country, we are seeing how pastors who came out of the senior pastors ministry out of rebellion.
Out of rebellion?
Yeah. Started a church because I can no longer work with him. I know what he does. I understand what he does. Yeah. And the senior pastor has not blessed him.
No.
My friend, he is going to have the same thing duplicated in himself, because when he gets a church and he gets the people going, they will also break out from him the way he broke out from his own senior pastor. And hence, the reason why we have people who call themselves believers in this country without impact in our social, moral standing.
Wow.
I'll give you an example. Joshua walked with Moses for 40 years.
40 years.
Never in any single day wanted to take over.
No.
Aaron and Miriam wanted to take over from Moses. And God rebuked them. And Aaron died before Moses. Miriam died before. So Moses had this guy walk with him, and he was his mentee for 40 years.
Wow. Until
he finished his work. Then God picked on him, but before God picked on him, the Bible tells us, Moses laid his hands on Joshua before he died. So why don't you allow your mentor to bless you and release you?
Wow.
Can I come back to my country? Can I come back to my country?
Yes.
I just want to beg the leadership of my country to honor their predecessors.
Wow.
Can I also beg the leadership of churches to honor their predecessors? Because if you don't honor your predecessor, you will also be dishonored by your successor. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
It
Wow.
does.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Very deep.
And it is truth. It is truth.
Yeah.
I go back to Jesus also.
Yeah.
When Jesus Christ was living, he called his apostles and he promised them that the Holy Spirit will come on them, and he gave them what they're supposed to do. You're going to be my witnesses. And he told them, begin in Jerusalem, go to Judea, go to Samaria, and continue. Now, that mandate, Judas never got it.
No, Judas never
He cut corners.
He did.
He took the coin, he committed suicide.
Suicide.
The guys who remained got it. That's why we have received it. And we cannot do otherwise. We should also receive it and pass it on to the next generation.
And pass it on.
Yes, to the next generation. No, now you guys, Daniel, you're 30-something years old.
Yes, Papa.
You may never know how many are following you.
Yeah.
Even now, you may never know how many people are following you. Apart from being consistent in your own lifestyle and everything else, there are those who are going to come under your feet and say, Daniel, we want to follow you.
Yeah.
Please always remember, there is one man who just died. I buried him on the 13th of January. He came to my home in 2012. And a retired gynecologist and a senior consultant. Great guy. Opened his own medical facility in Lira Downtown Medical Center, 43 beds.
Wow.
But this is a scientist, he's a doctor. But when he came to my home, he wanted me to go and help him with the youth ministry in Lira. But when I did that work, one thing he told me, he said, sir, I want to follow you. Please let me follow you at my expense.
Yeah.
I'll put fuel in my car, but I want to be with you. Wherever you go, I want to come with you. I took him to Rwanda, I took him to Tanzania, several times to Kenya. He really wanted to follow me. Sadly, he went before me, but he went well. I was there to bury him. I was there to speak at his funeral, narrating exactly that this man supported me in every way. And he had been a very big blessing to me. I'm missing him because I have lost him. But even so, at our parting, he never ever wanted to overthrow my leadership at all.
No.
Now that is to me a big example to others who are watching.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This
You
is
people.
getting deep.
This is getting deep and deeper. And what comes to me out of all this is, one, to know where you're going,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you must know where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to know where you are, you must know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And where you're coming from, there is so much that
Yeah.
you have had to navigate.
Yeah.
Now, you ask yourself how faithfully you have navigated the things you have, who you have learnt from, who has spoken into your life, and have they actually spoken life?
Yeah.
Now, have discernment.
Yeah.
Discernment
Very
has come out of this conversation.
conversation.
How many times? Discern who is speaking into your life.
Yeah.
Very important.
Are they speaking life? Are they speaking death?
Yeah. Yeah.
And choose life.
Yeah.
Choose mentors that are
Yes.
speaking life.
Yes. Yeah.
Choose mentors that you can follow and they are taking you somewhere where you want to go.
Yes.
But do you
And you
even
feel
want
safe.
Yeah, and you feel safe.
You will feel safe when it's right. You feel safe.
choose mentors that you feel safe with.
Yeah.
Because indeed, can you say more about a mentor that makes a mentee unsafe?
When you're looking for a mentor and you've got the person, you are going to be learning the character of that person the closer you come to them.
Yes.
I ask God to help you to have warning lights, especially when you are picking signals from this mentor which are negative.
Yeah.
Don't ignore those warning lights. No. Do not be infatuated and carried by his charisma because he's what he is, because charisma alone is not the person.
No.
Jesus Christ said, not all those who call me Lord, Lord will inherit the kingdom of God, but those who do the will of my Father. This guy said, but we prophesied in your name, we chased out demons in your name, ABCD. So we qualify. He said, no, the qualification is when you do the will of my Father. So your mentor, as you gauge that person, be able to understand, is this person's character, quality, devotion to God real? Because sooner or later you'll know if I'm pretending. It doesn't take long.
You can't
Pretense cannot be long-lasting, my beloved. Consistency of character is solid and will always be the same. Jesus is the same, yesterday, today, and forever. A follower of Jesus Christ will also be emulating Jesus, and therefore your mentor should be emulating Jesus, who is our ultimate mentor. And if you are not hearing those things which augur very well with the spiritual life that you have, please watch carefully. You can admire your mentor, you can even be infatuated by your mentor, but go beyond that. What is it that makes him who he is?
Substance.
So if you're a mentee, don't be carried by charisma, see this man, and if he can allow you, see if this man can allow you to also watch him in private, so that you actually understand what is it like in private. It's the same as is in the public there. You'll discover some of these guys in the public, they're one thing.
Yeah.
In the private, they're different. Now, those double faces should also give you warnings. And a mentor should be open to you in two areas, public and private. Let me give my example. When I do ministry with my team, I insist we stay in the same place, we eat the same food, and we're accountable to each other. I'm accountable to them, they're accountable to me. So there's no way I'm going to be sneaking out and doing other things without them knowing. In actual fact, my two assistants will sleep always in the, if you're in the facility, they're always sleeping in the next room from mine. So they can hear a door opening, they can hear a door coming in, they can see who is coming in, and I've given them that permission. Get to know the private part of my life. The assistant I have now lived and sat with me at the same table for 10 years. Wow. In my home. So you will understand when I'm in t-shirts and I'm in slippers and I'm ordinary. He knows me. He knows me when I'm in my attire and I'm in the platform there, whatever. Like Jesus, he never concealed himself. He said these words. I no longer call you servants because a servant doesn't know his master's business. But I call you friends. For all that the Father commanded me, I've shared with you. You are my friend, so a friend knows what is in the heart of a friend. Now, that kind of relationship should be developed between a mentor and a mentee.
Wow. And to achieve that, there is a very high level of integrity that you personally choose as a mentor to have. Now, allow me, gentlemen, to sit in the seat of a mother and speak to the girl child.
Permission granted.
Granted.
Thank you. There are a lot of risks on girls having mentors.
Male mentors.
Yes, male mentors. And it is a good thing, a wonderful thing to have a male mentor because we need the male voice.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the intentions of this male person in your life?
Yeah.
Are you looking at their actions? Are you watching and having your eyes open and knowing this is an authentic person, this is someone I can work with, and I will be safe? Are you watching when you're getting mentors that they are authentic, that they are not wolves
taking
in
advantage
sheep's
of
skin,
you,
that they are not taking advantage of you, and they are there. They are there, the ones that have made their choice, personal choice, to have to live a life of integrity, to have their moral standard high. If you're not comfortable, please, you don't have to be there. We have said before, you're not a prisoner to your mentor.
No.
You can check out.
Yeah.
You can talk to another person.
That's true.
You can ask for help. Don't put yourself in a space that is unsafe.
Wow.
Thank you, my daughters.
Oh, thank you, Edida. And you know, it's a common thing today. I think a lot of our young people today, we give so much into superficiality.
Yeah.
We love things that come quickly. I want to get an iPhone 17 quickly. I want to go for a holiday abroad. And this probably your mentor has the means. You could, nothing happened without you seeing the red
No,
red
it
flags.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Somehow along the way, if you've been in somebody's life for a little longer, the red flags can be there. What I want to add into the voice you've just said there is that seek depth. As a young girl, today we have cosmetized sex. We have made it a means to pleasure, not something deeper.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of our girl child today, they're falling in for that.
Yeah.
I want to just say one more thing that I learned from my mentor. One more mentor is a professor now at Makerere University Business School, Professor Rogers Matama. I want to honor you, sir, with this conversation. I met Rogers Matama in 2007 when I joined Makerere University Business School.
Yeah.
and he took me under his wings as a mentee, but then also working for his company. And what he did for me was to really, really stretch me in terms of work.
Yeah.
He sent me to Nairobi. My first trip to Nairobi was because of him.
On a plane.
To go on a bus, a Kamba at the time. No, Kampala coach. To go and represent him at a conference for Kenya Institute of Management.
Right.
And that blew my mind. And then, of course, the second time he took me on a plane and all of that. But his mantra was, boil your head for lasting enjoyment. So there are times we could work there all night if work needs to be done, and we just, take coffee, and it's like, don't sleep. You have gone through worse, and he helped me to utilize the struggles of my past to turn it into a strength. So I started calling myself the warrior from that time.
That's when the warrior thing came
that's
in.
when the warrior conversation started coming. He said, boil your head for lasting enjoyment. A young man, you should not be poor. Your past should not dictate whatsoever you become. You're a very intelligent young man. You're brave. And he spoke so many positivity into my life. And that's when he also really warned me, don't watch TV. Because there's a lot of superficiality in there. And then all of that. Only just watch what you need. Guard your mind. Because when you let a lot of things come in there, it will distort you from the pursuance of whatsoever goal and aspiration that you're going. Now, I'm not saying you should stop watching TV, but I'm just saying, what are you watching? So he left me with number one, boil your head for lasting enjoyment. And then the next one, he said, be exceptional, the world will listen. It doesn't matter whether you come from Kidgum, from Padibe, whether you're a former child soldier, whether you don't know your father. As long as you're exceptional in what you have chosen to do, the world will listen. And then that statement got stuck in my mind to date. Another thing he spoke to me was that life is about results. You either have a good results or
a bad one.
Or a bad one.
Thank you so much.
Let me just, Edida, echo what you had put forward to your daughters. But I want to speak to the mentors.
Please.
The male mentors. I want you to know relationship. Relationship of a father figure to a daughter is different from the relationship from a father who is looking for a sex object. And the difference is there. I want you to understand responsibilities. If I am a father figure, I have responsibility to a child, somebody who is younger than me. I'm not talking about a partner who is my wife. I'm talking to somebody who is younger than me. I have a responsibility. And my responsibility is protection, providing security, affirmation to this young person, and shaping this young person to a better life tomorrow. So I cannot decide to destroy this person, and I should not. A girl comes to a man not as a sexual partner. A girl comes to a man looking for security, looking for somebody who can put a cover over her, looking for somebody who can affirm her, looking for somebody who can make her feel the strength of a male person. That's why she's coming to you. She's not coming to you as a sexual partner, no. So don't misread her even. Don't begin to plant wrong ideas in her. 1973, this is many years ago, I was a school teacher. A young Monyoro girl whom I had met through my ministry in Gulu asked if she could come and visit me and my wife. I was already 1 year, second year married. So she came. I took her around Lira and I showed her places. Then I started to admire this girl. So when she went back, I wrote her a letter, and this is a letter that I have regretted from 1973 to date.
Wow.
I said, you girl called her by name. If I wasn't married, you would have been the girl I would have married.
Wow.
Now wait for the feedback. That letter alone made her cut relationship with me to date. To date.
Wow.
Now I did not know that I hurt this girl. I never even touched her sexually, nothing. I only wrote a letter. And thinking that I would have married her. Now for her, she held me at such a high esteem as a preacher, as a teacher, as a man of God. Now, the man of God penning this kind of letter for her was such a disgrace. I learned my lesson. I had crossed the boundary
Yeah.
as far as she's concerned. I never knew this girl. I never saw this girl again until much later when I was doing a pastoral visit as Archbishop. From then on, in 73, way back, I began to build a moral standard for me. That when I'm going to deal with the opposite sex, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go beyond that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the many thousands of females who have come under my mentorship and gone, come under my mentorship and gone. I had to learn a lesson before that happened. So for you, if you're a male mentor, that is a responsibility given by God. Because even Jesus, apart from the 12 apostles, had women following him as disciples. They were his disciples. They were helping him. They were cooking. They were all doing all this kind of thing. We are told in the scriptures.
Yeah.
They will come around you, but guard your mind and guard your words, guide your activities, and put a barrier. Finally, practically, when I'm trying to walk travel with my team, I don't take a girl on her own without another person. I always have them in pairs to travel with me because when we get to a place, they need to be accountable to each other, not directly with me. So my line with them is not even going to be direct.
No.
You are not an angel. You are a human being. You are prone to temptations.
Yeah.
And all these years up to this point where I am, I have guarded my life. And I want to be thankful to God that He has given you responsibility to be a mentor. And that a mentorship is a responsibility God-given. Honor God with that responsibility.
Wow.
Okay. You talk about deep.
Yeah.
This is deep.
Yeah.
And we honor you, Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have given me an opportunity to travel with you, and I can attest to what you're saying. And I know that the group and the team is always safe. And it's very beautiful. Because then there is no gray area.
Yeah, no.
There's no gray area. You know what the whole team did. The team knows what their leader did. And that's very beautiful.
And there's a leadership lesson there.
You people, thank you so much for being with us. This was deep. This was personal. And I do believe that you got value for yourself. And I do believe that if you're a mentor, that transformation is happening on your end too, on how you approach mentorship. If you're a mentee, you know what kind of mentor you want to look out for, and that you will be safe, but you'll also get so much value from your mentors.
Yes.
But in the end, the work is done by you.
Yes.
In the end, it is you who is going to take the action. Execution is from you. So please, this thing of thinking your mentor has not helped you enough while you become mediocre, that's not true. It is you who is going to stop yourself.
Correct.
The mentor can guide you. The mentor can support you. The mentor can ask the right questions. The mentor can walk with you to the intersection of your gifts, your passions, your opportunities. They can walk you there. They can show you the opportunities available. They are not going to take them for you. They are not going to do the work for you. They are not going to help you be passionate and take the actions. So please, just understand that the responsibility at the end lies with you, and we have confidence in you. We have confidence that you are going to become greater, that you are going to become that person that God fashioned you to be.
Amen.
The issue of God working 6 days came out very profoundly. He worked, but he did not just work. At the end of every day, he accounted.
He felt that it was good.
Looked at it, it was good.
Yes.
Can I ask that Daniel tells us what he is now? Having told us what he had come through, because I am sure the gold in him has been refined by fire. What are you now?
So I am a consultant I run a few businesses. So I run the Sales Institute. The Daniel Choudry Sales Institute is in Uganda now, is in Kenya, is in Tanzania, is in Ghana. But I also run a distribution business called Kanya Kanya Distributors, where we distribute for different organizations, for Unilever, for Beak, and a few others in Northern
Distributing
Uganda.
what?
Big pens, Pampers, lotions. So in all the retail shops, all the supermarkets. So
There's a company.
Yes, the company. It's the company.
Under you.
And it's my company.
Okay.
With a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
That do the
You have
distribution.
fleets of vehicle under you.
Yes.
This guy who was ex-combatant of Con.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know.
Who doesn't know his father? Never met him.
So the raw
I'm
gold,
an author
the
now.
raw gold has to go through fire before you can get the refined gold you can put on a finger, like a ring or necklaces or earrings or whatever. It has to go through fire. An intense heat, by the way.
Amen.
So this guy has gone through a lot of heat to produce the kind of material he is now. And when you hear this, don't look at him from the finished product.
No.
Take him from where he began.
Amen.
I wish this could go on forever because there is so much juice that is still coming out. However, we have to end it. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. There is so much that is coming up. You need this information.
And share this link widely.
Please
So
do.
many people need to watch this. Share it widely and watch it again. Sometimes you have to come back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Because repetition is the art of genius. If you want to be really good, you have to repeat certain things until your mind gets it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mental virus there that if you do not continuously watch it, the mental virus stays.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Tunawapenda zaidi. Bye.